Hey, g'day guys, Adam from VideoShowMeHow. We're back at Seisia. Bit of a slight, mainly my fault, booking miscalculation where I have, instead of booking 2 nights, decided I'd just book tomorrow night up there. So convoy split up for the evening. We've ripped back down to Seisia for tonight. It's allowed me to do a little bit of TLC on the DMAX, and I thought I'd use today's video to give you a bit of an update on what the heck happened yesterday, because man oh man, big day. So I thought I'd just give you a quick overview of how all that went down, and then I thought I'd show you a couple of things that I've been fixing up. So yesterday, massive day. We completed the OTT, old telly track, starting to forget, which was absolutely awesome. Massive relief, I think, sense of achievement, all of those things bundled into one, to get to the other side of Nolan's there and have a bit of a swim while there are other cars coming through was just excellent. There was a 79 series in our convoy that busted a CV on Logan's Crossing. You've probably seen some of those posts on Instagram from VideoShowMeHow, and that is the hardest part of the OTT, like in my opinion anyway, bar nothing. Nolan's is actually pretty easy. It's just super deep, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But all those photos, I got a stack of photos and a stack of footage. This thing was bogged to its gills. Like, I'm talking up to here. It was straight into the mud, and that was the easy route. Our big convoy sort of split into 2 that we ended up linking up with a bunch of other guys, and it is just carnage. Like, to the point where I had sensors out all over the place. I think it's actually dented my bumper here a little bit. I've just had the tools out here, as you can see. Oh yeah, I fixed my number plate too. Check it out. You can almost read it. So I bashed that with a hammer. This was pushed back up into the guard here, so I've just pulled the bar here down a little bit and maintained the gap there again. So we're good to go for tomorrow when we head back up to the top. I lost a light for the supernova lights. I don't know where the heck's that's gone. That's in the bog hole, that's in the mud somewhere. I don't know where that is. Obviously munted the number plate, something shocking. But yeah, thank God, recovery points. You don't want to muck around with those. We had double line pulls going on these ARB ones. I'm so glad that I got the big suckers, because there was, and it wasn't bunching at all. Like, ultra winch in their double lines, we were barely moving at all. We ended up having to get a big patrol and had 4 goes just to snatch us back up and out of the mud. But everything underneath is looking, I mean, it's looking horrendous, but it's unbroken, which is good. The bash plates, if you're going to get serious under there in an IFS vehicle, I tell you what, those things are an absolute godsend. So definitely get yourself, these are the custom off-road jobbies that you've seen in the videos. But they are an absolute godsend. Totally recommend those. Even on the corrugations, guys, you can hear the rocks just pinging up and pinging into those, where they would otherwise be either shredding the factory ones or pinging up into your chassis paint and that sort of stuff. So they're an absolute must, in my opinion. Other than that, we got through A-OK. We went through the right-hand line. Got tons of feedback from all you guys. Thank you very much. That ended up being the way to go and what everyone was going through. We ended up with our links. Prado went through, of all things, sort of an eBay special Prado that was just the thing that would never die. It was excellent. And then we just did safety first, bridle in the front, snatch strap, another couple of snatch straps, already hooked up to the other vehicle, and we kind of just daisy chained along and pulled everyone through. So the second they started slowing down, the car was already pulling them through the water there at Nolan's Brook. So everyone got through. I didn't get a scrap of water inside the DMAX. The Seisia in all of the grommets that you've seen all the accessories and stuff. Both grommets I'd sort of filled with Seisia pre-trip. You'll see that on those videos. And no water inside at all, which was excellent. Now, you would have seen in yesterday's video, I was getting some codes. I was getting some TCM codes. Rando helicopter. TCM codes, which is your transmission control. Looking a little worse from where in there, keen to get a detail. There's been a couple of you guys who have very kindly offered a detail of the car on the way back. and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. We're on a super tight schedule getting back, so I can't stop in and say g'day, unfortunately, but I really appreciate the offer. Transmission. So we're getting a couple of codes now. A very kind subscriber reached out just before I'd left, who unfortunately for him, and I really hope you got that sorted now, mate. He'd sunk his DMAX in Nolans to the point where he got water in the gearbox. Now, obviously, that's disaster zone, and you don't want to be there. Apparently, he's made in a BT version, obviously the inferior version of the DMAX, right? But the same, the sister car, similar issue. And after a ton of research leading up to the trip and during, it seems to be a little bit of a common thing. So if you're going to do Nolans in one of these and out of the vehicles as well, I would definitely recommend getting or fitting a gearbox breather. This is where I've got mine coming out right here, and I've got it snaking its way. Hopefully you might be able to see some of that down there, and then underneath, we'll see if I can get this so that you can actually see. You may not be able to see this much. We'll crawl under and see what we can see, eh? You can see right there, they're the couple of sensors on the side of your gearbox. So just above that, I'm not going to be able to show you up there, guys, it is dark as, but you can kind of see on the top there, they're your hoses, they're the breathers, but those things that I'm pointing at right now, they're the couple of sensors on the side. There's a total of 3 of those sensors on the side of the gearbox, and I think that's what was causing me dramas. So, oh, there's a good little angle of my CV angles that aren't too bad. 2-inch lift, no diff drop, looking all right. Just let me crawl back up here. But so I think what was happening, I was getting a couple of codes that were these guys over here on the dash, on the side. So I actually had a check engine light, and then a one just above it with a little sort of gear cog with an exclamation mark that was flashing away. Now I think after looking at the manual, it's saying that there's a TCM communication failure. Definitely recommend, if you're doing Nolans as well, and go back and check my videos. I've done the video on how to set that up, but the car scanner app or TOMRROW, some sort of ability for you to be able to clear codes using an OBD sensor, because after I got across the Jardine, that's when I got a check engine light. The DMAX drove fine after the Nolans, no worries. I had a really brief sort of code and I restarted the car, no problem. Fine. Over the Jardine, just as I got to the Jardine and paid, came back out, had all sorts of weird and wonderful little codes there, a little lights like I just described, and where it says the gears and what sort of gear you're in, it wouldn't say. You know how on here, if you got a manual, it'll say park, first, second drive, blah, blah, blah. It would just give me no description and just give me lines. So, and like it wouldn't know what gear it was in. So I ran it through the diagnostics on the car scanner app, and the only errors were TCM errors, and it was lost communication. So I put it down to that there were water in those sensors, or there was moisture in that sensors enough that it was mucking with the signal. So when the ECU or the TCM was trying to read what gear it was in, I would put money on the fact that one of those sensors is the selector sensor, and that was what was causing the issue. Because when I got here, just over where that other blue, I'm not sure what that is that an older DMAX? Anyway, where that blue car is, that's where we were last night. I just basically pulled the battery. I just sort of disconnected everything there. I left the sensors as were. That was kind of going to be my plan B with a blower or something tomorrow, like in the morning. But I just disconnected the battery and sort of that was that. I just left it, sort of stepped through the theory, and then this morning got back in there, started the car, got back on the car scanner app via my phone, cleared the codes, tickety boo, no problem since, all a-okay. So I think the two things are, definitely make sure that you have a gearbox breather installed. I will do a video on this when I get home, just sort of showing that a bit more detail when I've kind of got some tools and a bit more light and stuff like that to show you. It's dead simple to do. I just got these kits from Repco, simple, run it up to here, because you don't want water in the gearbox. That's a whole different story. But yeah, sensors, I almost go to the point of saying to get some dielectric grease and give them a bit of a touch up, easy to unplug and before you go through a crossing. But I'll definitely make a video of this when I get home. My phone is saying it's way too hot, and oh my God, I'm almost at 10 minutes for a daily vlog. That's no good, so I'll wrap this up, stop jibber jabbering. That's us. DMAX is now running fine. Did a bit of a tweak on the front bull bar, so we're A-okay there as well. Tomorrow is the tip. We were meant to do it today, but then I kind of maybe completely ballsed up the booking at Punsand Bay, and they were full, so we've ripped back here and we're postponed to tomorrow. So tomorrow's the day. I'm going to do a bit of a face reveal as well and say g'day in person on tomorrow's video, so look out for that. But other than that, guys, I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Cheers, guys.